Welcome back to Scrap Mechanic, the sawing lumber. Today I want to build a mobile sawmill to get lots of wood super easily. What do I need all of this wood for? I actually don't really know, but maybe I'll think of something if I have thousands of blocks. Alright, so I probably should start by actually crafting the saw blade. Well, luckily it's not that expensive, but 1 minute crafting time? I also got really lucky because I found a piston in a chest one day. The saw blades also were kind of funny because as long as they're spinning, they cut trees. So, oh yeah, and you also might not know this, but you can actually weld the trees once you cut them. So I guess I can just weld the tree back in place. That looks kind of cursed, but it's fine. You see, the flat side of the saw blade is cutting the tree just fine. Alright, so I kinda need to get this whole thing on a vehicle now. So that means crafting a whole lot of stuff. Good thing is I'm kind of well stocked on things for now. Alright, all I know is that we're gonna have to build a huge vehicle. So yeah, I'm gonna need to grind more wood to get more wood. To automate crafting a little bit, there's a little trick we can use by placing 2 small chests onto our craft bot. And now when I craft something like wood, there's a little symbol I can press to keep crafting stuff continuously. And I wonder if it can craft... Oh, it can craft 4 things continuously? That's crazy. Oh, that's a lot of wood coming our way. Great. So I want to build this whole vehicle out of wood block level 2, which is probably way overkill and I don't even need to do, but I need more metal block level 2, and those need lots of ember, which in turn needs a lot of scrap wood. So I guess that would be a very good use case for automating my wood. And I still really like this ice sled. Like once I'm done cutting an entire tree, I can just slide it over there and it picks up all the wood. I guess the only problem is that it sometimes slides away. Those damn slopes, if it weren't for them, I would have gotten away with it. Alright, I'm also getting a little bit low on water, but this should be an easy fix since we can just place a vacuum pump into the water. I actually forgot to craft a pipe. Right now I can just put 2 long pipes on it. Wait, is it just me? If I look through a pipe I can see the water bubbles? Well, janky shaders aside, once I fire up the vacuum pump like this is pumping water. And somehow it's also magically packaging it. Alright, finally I can make lots of wood blocks. So right now I need to cut down one of the biggest trees I can find, which would be this one. Okay, I didn't cut it exactly where I wanted to, but that should be okay. Oh, okay, I can actually cut off the branches, even though it says this tree is too big for the sledgehammer, so that's kinda cool. I've cut it a little bit too short, but I can just weld it back on. Alright, I've just welded it here, just so I have an idea how long this car needs to be, and looks like it's gonna be really long. Alright, so I've got like one of every tree here, and I think I can just punch off the branches, yes. So it seems the big trees have a diameter of 5 blocks, the other ones have 3 blocks, and the birch trees are literally just 1 block, and the hitboxes are a little bit janky. Okay, I also need a lot of glass blocks, because I'd love to see inside the sawmill while it's working, which is also really stupid since all the bots can just destroy my glass blocks. But I think looks are gonna be very important for this build too. I think by the time I'm done building this, there won't be any tree visible from the mechanic station anymore. Like crafting ember is just so expensive. I also need to get more stone to make more sand to make even more glass. Wait, walk? This is not a good place for you to be in right now. Okay, I've just put the second engine on my car, because that should make it much easier to mine those rocks. Ah yes, this is looking very brilliant. Okay, I somehow gotta walk onto my car. I don't know, I wish I could just honk somehow to, like, scare the rocks away so this stuff does not happen. Well, as you can see, I've been mining rocks for like the last hour. I also just realized I can just put 2 resource collectors onto my car. Alright, finally I can keep working on the sawmill. And to later move the logs through the entire sawmill, I'm going to need a lot of pistons. And I don't even have the crafting recipe unlocked yet. I also heard that a simple farm setup like this should be able to defend against low level rates. I just used a bunch of wood level blocks too, to like give it a small fence that the toad bots can't get past, and then we have these long wooden sticks that are gonna hopefully... Yes, this does not work! Is the scrap gas engine this terrible? No! I have a bearing at the bottom, whoopsie. Right, let's see if I fixed it. I think it's working. This is so weird, like if I walk into it, it suddenly goes so much stronger. I think then it's probably ideal in defending bots. I don't know what magic is causing it to behave this way. Now I've also put a saw blade on each wooden stick, which, I mean, they don't really spin, but I hope that the main spin from the entire creation, well, the scrap engine is very bad, it would seem, so we are not using saw blades for this one. Right, I think if I hit the water in exactly the right spot, yes, I can water 4 fields at once. That's pretty cool, actually. Right, let's put my very fragile creation into safety, I hope. And let's see if this can actually fend off a single raid. Alright, the raid bar is barely moving, so I think this should totally be doable. Right, let's turn this thing on a little bit before the raid so it has time to spin up. And let's see what kind of enemies we're getting. I hope they're not trying to go through my mechanic station. That would be very annoying. Oh, there they are. Okay, it's just those 3. Okay, this seems to fend off the toadbots somewhat well. I guess. Good thing the jank is kind of defending the farm. I guess I wouldn't recommend this the most, but it seems to work well enough, I guess. And I guess it's been pretty useful that I used these high-level blocks. Oh, we did lose 2 crops, however, but that's not too bad. Alright, but my crafting bottleneck right now really is just ember. And I mean, I guess I could cut even more trees to craft more. But instead I think I'm going to drive around the map a little bit and hope that I can find a bit more ember naturally. Yo, I think a haybird just died in the chemical pond. Wait, I knocked one of them inside. Yo, how do they die inside there? I thought the chemicals don't do damage towards them. Ember! Alright, I think I should probably mark this location, since getting so much ember is kind of huge. Oh, there's also a farmer trapped here. I should probably help them. Oh, they actually float when you spin them? No way. So I've done a little bit of grinding. Yes, I've cleared the entire field with just my sledgehammer. It was incredibly tedious and took probably like over an hour. But the grind is what I live for. Alright, time to return back to my base and return the farmer with multiple concussions. But I'm sure they'll be just fine. While I'm at it, I might as well pick up those 2 farmers right next to the hideout. Alright, now it's time to suck them all up, and then we're never ever gonna see them again. But hey, at least now I can unlock the recipe for the timer, the sensor, and the logic gate. Alright, I have 4.5 scrap chests full of ember now. And since it just happens to be raining, I might as well replant the crops. Okay, one of the haybots just got absolutely obliterated by my contraption, and I think the toadbot too. So yeah, I think this is a perfectly reasonable starting farm. But now I can craft copious amounts of woodblock level 2. Okay, the second harvest is done now, which we can pack right up and deliver to the hideout. Hey, and once I finally deposit this, I've unlocked the piston! Alright, I'm going to have to craft a lot of those. And no, metal block level 2? I mean, good thing I've just grinded a bunch of them and got a lot of spare ember to make them, but it's still a little expensive. Well, I guess that's just the price of progress. Alright, so the plan is now that I have a bunch of pistons over here, and whenever I weld a tree onto here, I mean, I'm later gonna place down a sensor, but for now I use the switch, then this is going to push the entire log into the saw blades, which are going to be on the other end, and we still have a lot more distance we need to take care of. So I might just need even more pistons. Okay, I've doubled the number of pistons now. Let's see how... Whoopsie, forgot to put it off the lift. Let's see how far we can go now. That's like not too bad, I guess. Wait, I can literally walk against it because the pistons are this weak. Alright, let's see how this would do with an actual tree inside. Are the pistons still strong enough? Yes, they are. Alright, I'd have to shove the tree past this point. And we're like 2/3 of the way there. Alright, I think I'm going to upgrade a few of them. We're getting a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm completely out of component kits right now, which I guess is very relatable. So I'm gonna try and farm some of them. Like, one of the best strategies is to just run over farmbots. With a good vehicle, you can kill them instantly, collect their scrap, and maybe I'll just try cruising the overworld like this and find me some bots. Wow, I've just yeeted this one very far. Wait, did you literally survive that? How? Well, it's certainly a different way to farm component kits, but it seems very unreliable since sometimes I'm really struggling to find any haybots. Well, back to the usual ruin grind, I guess. Hey, at least you can find loot in the ruins, so that kind of keeps it enjoyable. I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for loot anyway, so... Wait, are there 2 loot boxes in one? I mean, I'm not complaining. That's just pretty cool. Well, the ruins were actually quite fun, and we've got a bunch of component kits now. Too bad I'll never see them again. But yeah, I'm just gonna upgrade all of the pistons to level 3. And let's see how far we get now. I think it's gonna be very close. Okay, we are just scraping the ground right now, but we're still moving. We are almost there. It's getting really close. Oh, I think I'm literally just a few blocks short. Oh wait, I can't lift the creation right now because I've welded a tree onto it. Yeah, that's kind of a weird interaction. And our tree is like bouncing now for no reason. Oh wow, we've already way surpassed the range. Oh, do you notice this cool lens effect around the edges of my screen with the glass? I don't know, this looks really cool. Anyway, right now I'm trying to make this thing a little bit more smart, so I've placed down a sensor that's going to detect whenever I weld a tree onto it. Alright, I've placed down some saw blades now. I'm just not sure how I'm going to power them. I kind of think a controller would be nicer, but that might have to be like a level 5 controller to spin fast enough. Well, guess I'm gonna find out the hard way. Alright, let's upgrade this one a little bit. Okay, this needs to be at least level 4, yikes. I don't know, maybe I've crafted a few too many blocks, but I'm sure it's fine. Alright, let's see why is it so slow? This many arrows just makes my brain hurt. Okay, I think I've kind of figured it out. This looks pretty good now, where I think all the blades are spinning fast enough. Alright, let's cut down another one of those gigantic trees and test our sawmill. Now I think what I want to, whenever I weld it onto it, yep, this is moving the pistons, and it's actually working quite well. Oh wow, I didn't expect that I was gonna build something so useful today. Okay, the woodlock is very bouncy, so I think we kind of need to put a roof on top. I'm shocked at my own efficiency. Okay, we currently seem to be stuck a little bit because, oh, they got some wood lodged in between. I think the resource collector is also like full already, so that's a little bit of an issue. Alright, I've also upgraded to double resource collectors because the one I had before just literally overflowed because it's too effective. Now I guess I just have to find another tree. So I guess trying to make this whole thing movable soon wouldn't be the worst idea because I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to move all my trees over now. Okay, I guess I'm just going to gather some more regular trees. And I mean, I guess you could also, like more traditionally, just build a truck that hauls tree logs and then take that to the sawmill. Trying to make the whole sawmill move is kind of just ridiculous. So it's exactly up my alley. Okay, I think this is enough material. It's also really hard to prevent my car now from tipping over. For now, I've also just made it switch controlled instead of sensors because it was getting a bit complicated and I forgot to turn the saw blades on. I guess whenever the pistons activate, I can also activate the saw blades because logic. Alright, let's see how well it will do against the simple birch tree. It seems to be working quite well. Yes, munch, munch, munch. That is very effective. We lost one piece though. Whoa, that's like an illegal welding technique. I mean, I literally just grabbed the tree between the tree parts. Well, the problem is, you know, I can't get this one to fall over again because if I hit it with the hammer, it would break. So this is... Oh, I have actually an idea how I can get it to tip over. We just have to use physics. Physics. Okay, yes, I'm making progress. It's falling. Alright, let's see how well this one's going to get processed. I wonder if there's also going to be some wood just glitching. Oh, yep, some wood is literally glitching out of here. And somehow my thingy just glitched right through the saw blades. Okay, I guess I need to put the pistons a bit shorter. Right, another idea I have is to just make the wall a bit thicker right where the wood is being cut. Maybe that has a difference, maybe it does not. Okay, I think at this point I can just use my reference trees. Alright, another birch tree test. And yeah, this time it glitched through the thing as well. Well, that is not satisfactory. Alright, I've just lowered the saw blades by 1 block. Maybe that helps a little bit. I have no idea. Right now I gotta see that my saw blades are still spinning nicely because I'm still not entirely sure how they best spin. Okay, that looks like some nice spinning. I just rotated the arrows some way and they spin fast enough now, so I hope this can finally fix some of the glitches. Alright, let's see how this tree is going to go. I hope for the best, and it actually seems better now. Wait, I did something correct? This is crazy. Alright, I'm also going to need some more refinement to actually process the wood. Alright, I mean, at this point it's basically a functioning sawmill. Alright, let's try with one of those mega trees now. Okay, I seem to struggle to weld this into my creation right now. Well, now it works when it's on the lift. And it refuses to work when it's not on the lift. I think it's because you can see this is slightly angled. So I think this will make the whole tree tilt down over time and clip into the floor. So I guess I do have to make it one block taller. But I guess for now I can just weld it while it's on the lift. Push the button and it seems to be working quite well. No wood is like flying out of the thingy. This is wild. Look how fast we're making wood. Okay, one piece glitched out of it, but I think that's fine. We're getting like 80-90% of the wood. So okay, I've got to find me another big tree. And I think the fastest way for me to carry it is to just walk. I also think I'm going to need a second refine bot because this is just so efficient and I don't think this one can keep up. Oh, I love this efficiency. Like, I spent multiple hours just grinding wood by hand just to get enough components for this. And now I just like munch the tree in 20 seconds. Oh, it's amazing. And then I can also connect this to like an autocraft bot to convert some of it already into wood level 1. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Except the amount of component kits I need for this. Wait, what's happening to my blocks right now? Wait, that's like new in the game. So you drag your blocks as usual, then you hold right click, and now I can drag this new thing around. That is like such a weird interaction. Hey, it's one of those new bots. Okay, so here we can unlock schematics, and I keep finding a lot of those boxes anyway. Alright, let's see what I can unlock. It's basically like loot boxes now. But yeah, it's basically just decorative stuff. Like maybe one day I'll get lucky and there's actually something really useful in here. Wait, is that a small boat? Yo, I've heard that you can find vehicles. Oh my world, it's actually driving. Oh, this is so funny. But wait, there's no way this drives in the water, right? Well, I've got some component kits again. So let's make the refine bot and another craft bot. And I'm basically out of component kits again. Ah, scrap mechanic. Alright, now I should get lots of scrap wood in this chest. And this craft bot, I'm going to infinitely let it craft wood 1. Alright, now I just have to make the whole thing drivable. So I'm gonna get a driver's seat. I also should make a new respawn bed. Ah yes, I'm just gonna sleep vertically. Definitely the superior sleeping position. And yeah, this is getting really crowded. This is not really a pretty build, but I just want it to be functional for now. Alright, as you can see, this is definitely a legit build. I mean, it's so desperately trying to look anything like a car. But this is definitely not a car. I mean, that doesn't stop me from trying to make it one. Oh, it's gonna drive so horribly. I don't know if I can take the grind anymore. Alright, I can finally craft the engine. Though I think I have to upgrade it quite a bit to actually handle this giant vehicle. Alright, I think it's also time I get rid of this tree so I can actually put this on the lift again. Actually it's so satisfying to watch, not gonna lie. And now with the craft bot and all the refineries, it's just so efficient. I don't know if this was worth grinding 10 hours for, but it's too late to contemplate that now. Right, let's put in my little gas engine. Also, the only way to exit this car is to go into the bed and then it just leads you out. I mean, it's kinda smart, I guess. Alright, I definitely have to upgrade it at least once. This looks so stupid. I mean, it's just too big. But I'm making it a car, whether it wants to be one or not. Okay, I actually think I even have to upgrade the suspensions a fair bit, just because the thing is just so heavy. Alright, let's put this off the lift. Actually, no, the suspension is totally overwhelmed. Alright, good thing upgrading them is relatively cheap. Maybe I also need a little bit of a staircase to actually get up there again. Okay, now in theory this thing should be able to drive. Alright, let's see, the steering works. It's actually feeling really wonky. Okay, I'm pressing W. We are moving. It's basically a snail's pace. Okay, I think this gas engine is currently too weak. Well, let's waste basically all of my remaining component kits. Ah, we're actually able to get this thing moving! No way! It's not driving all that well. And I think this definitely needs at least 2 more or even 4 more wheels, because, I mean, this just feels wrong. Anyway, this is perfection though, so I can just, whoopsie, like grab this tree with my weld tool, put it up here, and I actually need this switch. Once I press it, we can easily process a birch tree. Let's go. This is pretty fun. Oh my world, how much fuel does this consume? I'm gonna run out of fuel before I can even get back to my base. But actually, this is kind of fun for grinding wood. Definitely feels less annoying than doing everything with the hammer. And every time I get to see this, I'm just so happy. I mean, this almost justifies the absolutely huge fuel costs of this thing. But I guess if I upgrade the gas engine a little bit, it's gonna get somewhat better. I guess though, if I actually want to cut down those big trees, I need my other vehicle to cut them down first. Since this is just way too big to maneuver it exactly where it would have to be. But for like all the other trees, this works really well. I mean, it's... oh my world, why do the branches just not disappear? It's kind of ridiculous. And yeah, so far we're not losing any wood. I can't believe it. Okay, but I think the real test is gonna be these very big trees. Alright, I can't wait to see this one gobble up one of the big ones. And, oh, it actually does fit inside now. Oh, that's amazing. I was worried I might have to readjust the height again. But there we go. Oh, this is so peak. It's eating the entire tree and we're not losing any wood piece. All of those issues have disappeared by now. And, oh, this is giving us so much wood. Yeah, we are almost overflowing the resource collectors. Crazy. Okay, somehow this very big tree doesn't want to fit inside. Okay, I've cut it down one short now and now it fits. Yeah. Ah, okay, so apparently there's trees that are even bigger than anything I've tested with before, so I guess this could still have a minor improvement, but I think it's pretty good right now. I mean, I'm probably gonna improve this a little bit in the future, upgrade the engine, maybe get a gas tank on there once I unlock it. But if I ever have to grind this much wood again, like I've already got like 2500 scrap wood and like 3000 level 1 wood blocks. This is wild. Well, lastly, I want to show you what you probably should build instead, and that's a simple sawmill like this one by Mechanic. Well, the principle is very similar. We just weld our trees on top of the machine. In this case, we need to put down a block that we then later remove ourselves, that throws the tree into the machine, and then with a button we can turn on the spinning blade, which, as you can see, has also the flat side here, because the flat side also works for cutting trees. Oh, I guess this still counts as being in the terrain. Oh, scrap mechanics, so janky. Wait, it's actually on fire now? I didn't know explosives could set trees on fire. Alright, and this even works for the very big trees. I guess this happens when you make the saw blade a little bit too fast. But you see, it's working wonderfully. But yeah, I think putting something like this on a vehicle will probably end up looking less ridiculous than whatever the hell I've built. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what cool things I should do in my world, and I hope I'll see you in the next episode.